everybody, my name is Melissa and welcome to my channel. So I am doing my January reading wrap up. I read a total of 21 books. I read a thriller as well as participated in the Smutathon, which is a week-long readathon on romance books. I had so much fun. I have a good amount of physical books as well as ebooks to talk about, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and go in order of what I read this month, and the first book that I ended up picking up was No Exit by Taylor Adams. This is the thriller that I talked about, and I had been wanting to read this since like I can't even remember. I had heard such amazing things from so many different booktubers about this thriller, and I thought it was the perfect time. It was still cold outside and all that good stuff, so this book was absolutely so atmospheric. It's about a girl who's driving home during the holidays and something happens to her car. She has to pull off on the side of the road at this rest stop, and she walks in and things aren't exactly how they seem. She can't really trust anyone. Weird things are going on because she ends up finding a girl that's in a cage, and one of those people that's in the rest stop is a kidnapper. So she's trying to figure out who it is. Everybody's stranded, they can't go anywhere because of the big snowstorm that's, happening around them, and it was so gripping and compelling. I was flying through these pages, and yeah, definitely such an amazing book. So if you're interested in picking up a very atmospheric, like one where you can really feel the cold and you are really transported into that location, this is an absolute wonderful book to pick up if you're looking for that. And honestly, you could read it any time of the year, but because it's still winter, it's absolutely perfect. So the very next book I picked up was an arc of Come Tumbling Down by Seanan McGuire. This was one of my most anticipated releases of the year because I absolutely love the Wayward Children series. I've read every single one of them, loved them so much. I ended up getting approved for the arc on NetGalley, so thank you so much to them as well as Tor.com Publishing for letting me go ahead and read this and review it. I absolutely loved it. This is the follow-up to the second book, but I definitely highly suggest you read like books 1 through 3, definitely, because a lot of things that happen in those books are talked about in this next installment. So I highly advise you kind of read those books before doing that. I thought you just needed to read the second one, but definitely read a couple of the other ones before that. This is a series about children who find the places where they are really home in other worlds. They go through these doorways as children and they're called to these different worlds, and it's the place where they're meant to be. Some of these worlds are extremely dangerous and dark and evil. Some of them are definitely have dangers, but they're a lot more lighthearted. All of the characters have specific places that they go to, and the school where they're at is where they are being sent by their parents to get acclimated back into the real world because they just want to go back to the other worlds that they had been living in. This is the continuation of Jack and Jill's story. It's the follow-up of really whatever happened, in those books from before and the fallout, and it's just so good. It's so dark. I really love this book so much, and if you are interested in picking up these books, definitely do. They are perfect for readathons because they are super short. They impact a huge punch and just have so many great things. There's so much different representation in them, so yeah, definitely pick them up if you are interested. I freaking love them. So now to get into the books that I read for the Smutathon readathon, and the first one that I'm going to talk about is Marriage for One by Ella Mays. I picked this up on audiobook from the Audible Escape subscription that I have, and I really did enjoy it. It's a marriage of convenience novel as well as very slow burn, and I did have some things that weren't my favorite, which I will talk about, but there are some trigger warnings to be aware of. There's very intense moments of dealing with illness as well as panic attacks, which some might find quite triggering, so just be aware. So the main character Rose, she dreams of opening up her own coffee shop. So that's kind of the main point on her story, is really opening up this coffee shop and living her dream. And Jack, who's this big time lawyer, is the way that she's going to be able to do that. So they end up getting married so that way the space where she was going to open up her shop isn't going to be taken by her greedy family, and she's going to be able to live out her dream. This is a dual point of view story, so it also has 2 voice actors, male and female, so you get both perspectives. And Rose is a very stubborn character, and it was quite frustrating to see her interacting and just being absolutely stubborn. But I totally get it, that's her character and that's her personality, which was really great because Jack, the guy main character, he definitely looked past that, and he really loved her for who she was. I gave this book 4 stars. I found myself continually going back to the audiobook because I wanted to know what was going to happen next, even though almost in every single chapter Rose just kind of annoyed me. But still, the audiobook was absolutely fabulous. I really enjoyed it. Some might find the pacing quite slow and, very boring, but I really did enjoy it and found myself, giving it 4 stars. The next book I picked up is a physical book, and that was Good Gone Bad by Gianna Darling. This is the third book in the Fallen Men series. I absolutely love this series. I've read the last two. I still haven't read the first one, but they're all age gap romances and they're all very steamy, all centered around younger character. The last two are younger girl characters. It's just so good. They are motorcycle romances. This one is based on the daughter of the motorcycle club's president and her relationship with a cop. They're definitely not supposed to fall in love and have a relationship, not only for the age gap, but because they're on opposite sides of the law. And you really find out that Danner, the main guy character, he's not as prim and proper as he would like to be. He definitely has a dark side. So this was so much fun. I absolutely loved it. If you love age gap romances and if you're looking for something that is very emotional as well as super steamy, super gripping, and just a fun ride altogether, this is a great series to pick up. I absolutely love this book for sure. The next book that I ended up picking up is a historical romance that I buddy read with Avery from Avery Loves Books, and that is The Highwayman by Kerrigan Bryant. So this was a lot of fun. I heard such great things about this book. It's the first book in a series. I'm definitely interested to continue on just from how much I really enjoyed this. This book definitely has a mystery kind of surrounding it. This is about a girl who, when she was younger, she lived in this like orphanage and she had this really strong relationship with one of the boys there, and something happened and he ended up dying. Fast forward several years later, she's in a situation where she takes on his name and pretends that she was widowed because in their past they pretended that they were married. It's very like a confusing story to explain without giving too much away. So I really did enjoy it. I did kind of see the twist definitely at the beginning of the book. There's a lot of things that hint to it, which you can catch if you're looking for them. And I guess I was looking for them, so I found them. So I wasn't too surprised by the ending, but I really did enjoy it. I enjoyed the writing so much. This is obviously a historical romance. I don't read too many of them, but after reading this, I'm definitely interested in continuing on with my read of them and discovering more in the subgenre because this was a lot of fun. If you're looking for something that has a hero who is grumpy, just standoffish, but yet you love him all the same, definitely this is a great one to read. And yeah, I loved it so much. Next, I ended up picking up A Lesson in Thorns by Sierra Simone. This is a book that I had no idea where we were going. All I knew was that these group of friends, they were childhood friends. They all lived in this house for a summer or so, and something happened where they all went their separate ways, and somehow they came back here in the same house as adults. All I knew going into this as well was there was a polyamorous relationship. There was so much different representation, and I just wasn't really sure what to expect. But holy crap, I was blown away. Absolutely loved this. Gave this book 5 stars. It's very difficult to explain. There's an underlying mystery. The main character, something happened to her mother and she went missing. She doesn't know where she went. And so she goes back to this house to kind of discover more of what happened to her mom. So yeah, this definitely has a mystery to it, and I can definitely see in the second installment it's definitely going to continue on with that. But if you are looking for something that is very dirty, has a lot of steam, has a lot of smut, and goes there, this is one, and I freaking loved it. I devoured it and I want to read it again. It was so good. So the very last book that I picked up for the Smutathon, I picked up as an audiobook as well, but I do have the physical book, and that is The Gravity of Us by Brittany C. Cherry. This is the 4th book in a series, but can be read as a standalone. I didn't really get too much of seeing where it came from, a series. I didn't have any trouble following this book at all. So this book is about Lucy and Graham, and Lucy has definitely more of a go with the flow, very earthy, hippie vibes to her, and Graham is this author who he's just, I don't know, very cold. And Lucy, she owns this flower shop. She's very in tune with nature type thing. And these two opposites, you don't know how they're going to come together. This is a book that you can't really explain too much of the plot because it's going to spoil a lot of stuff that happened in the middle and towards the beginning. But I absolutely love this. The audiobook was absolutely amazing. If you are looking for something that is going to really suck you in and give you a lot of emotions, if you listen to the audiobook, it is absolutely amazing as well. If you've been thinking about picking this book up, definitely give it a try. I loved it so much and definitely look forward to checking out more books from this author. So I ended up picking up Killer by Candice Schwandrak when it ended up coming out. I had so much fun. This was the 5th installment of the series. The last and final book is coming out in March and I can't wait. So this is a book about a girl who gets accepted into this all-male college. It's their way of kind of trying to begin integrating girls into their university. So she's kind of the trial run. She ends up getting a guy as a roommate, obviously, and he is very sad, very down, and definitely the whole school hates him for a certain reason. And there's two other guys that they all used to be friends, these three guys, and yeah. She kind of finds herself in the middle of all this drama, and she has her own secrets and things to hide behind. This is a story that is set in the same world as Cruel Black Hearts. I freaking love that series so much, and this one is definitely not as dark, but definitely still gripping and captivating, and definitely has some dark elements in it as well. I have been reading all of these books as soon as they come out, absolutely loving them, and I just really like this indie author so much. So if you're looking for a book that definitely has some stalkerish tendencies, you have, you know, a serial killer that's on the loose, you also have, oh my goodness, you know, drug addiction, there's so many other things in this book, and it's just so good. I don't want to tell you too much about it. All of them are fairly short. They're definitely very easy to get through and on Kindle Unlimited if you are interested in picking them up. Wings of Ice by G. Bailey is yet another reverse harem paranormal romance, and this is about a girl who knows she's a dragon. She lives in the human world, and on her 18th birthday she knows she's going to inherit the throne at one point in time, and she gets thrust into the dragon world. And there's a lot of different politics and things that she doesn't know about the world because she never paid attention when she was younger, and she was supposed to be learning about these things. So she ends up needing 4 different dragon protectors, and yeah, it's as ridiculous as it sounds. I ended up enjoying the first 2 books, and yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say about that, other than like her 4 dragon protectors, they don't want to protect her, they don't like her, they don't like royals, so it's kind of this hate to love academy setting. So pretty much like everything that I read like all of last year was this book. So yeah, I did a good job, you know, moving away from those types of books this month, but I definitely, you know, stuck a few in there. I picked up The New Girl, which is another, you know, reverse harem romance, and yeah, gave it 1 star. This is an author that I wanted to give another chance to. Unfortunately, didn't like it, gave it 1 star, just gonna leave it at that. So one of my absolute most anticipated books of the year was Credence by Penelope Douglas. I had no clue what to expect when I picked this up with Kindle Unlimited. It was definitely a ride. This is definitely a book that a lot of people I've seen very polarizing, you know, reactions to. Some people absolutely love it, it's their favorite book. Other people, oh my gosh, it's so taboo, they can't even like fathom how people can read it. I, on the other hand, absolutely loved it and adored it and ate it up. Tiernan is the daughter of 2 famous parents, and they decided that they were going to commit suicide on purpose together so that they could leave the world. So she is left all alone. She ends up finding out that she has 6 months until her 18th birthday, and she is given custody to her uncle who lives in Colorado. She decides to go there to get away from all the press and all the pressures that have been going on after her parents, you know, passed away. Her uncle is actually a step uncle, I suppose, because her father and her uncle were step siblings, so there's no blood relationship. So she's never really met them or anything like that. She goes to live with him and his 2 sons. This is a book that definitely goes there. If you are looking for some steamy, smutty scenes, this book brings it, and it definitely gives you all that you need and more. But like I said, a lot of people just find this, you know, not to be their taste, and that's perfectly fine. I absolutely loved it. If you like a book that has like, you know, about mountain men and isolation romance, that type of thing, this definitely is all here for it. And yeah, I don't want to give too much away. I'm sure that there are much better, you know, reviews out there for it, but if you love Penelope Douglas and you like the books that kind of like push some boundaries, definitely pick it up. It's so good. Descend by G. Bailey, another G. Bailey book. Yes, I was trying to find all of the good paranormal romances this month. I ended up picking this one up, and it is an angel paranormal romance, and it's about a girl who can see the dead. And something happens on, I'm not sure if it was her birthday, but she ends up dying with her best friend in this car crash, and she ends up becoming an angel, and her best friend becomes an angel as well. So it's about this angel academy. This book is one that is set in the same world as some of her other series, so like Demon Academy, Shifter Academy, things like that. You'll definitely notice a lot of some of the same characters that are mentioned and so on and so forth. This is a book where she finds out that she is now an angel, and angels aren't as good as you think they would be. So it's definitely a little bit darker, a lot of fun. Gave it 4 stars. So if you're interested in picking it up, definitely give it a go. Kindle Unlimited is pretty good. So I ended up picking up one book that I read back, I think it was like 2017, but the series is now complete. It's a trilogy. That would be Variant Lost. So this, I picked up all 3 books, read them because I just wanted to, you know, read a series that was complete. And this again is another paranormal reverse harem. It was pretty decent. I did enjoy it. It, you know, had me, you know, intrigued the whole entire time I was reading it. This is about a girl named Evelyn who gets this scholarship to go to this variant school. Basically, variants are a certain percentage of the population who have like types of superpowers, whether that could be super speed, super hearing, it could be they can cause a lot of pain, the ability to create fire, so on and so forth. So she is a human that goes into the school and she finds out a little bit more about herself and her abilities. So obviously this is a reverse harem as well, so you have the guys that are surrounding her and protecting her and all that good stuff. So this was a lot of fun. This book also contained some strong female friendships, which was really great to see, and I definitely am so glad I was able to finally finish the 3 books because yeah, I read the first one and totally forgot what happened. So it was very good. So the next book I picked up was Princess Ballot. This is a book that is not a reverse harem, but is definitely set up to almost read like one, but it's not, according to Goodreads. So it's about a girl who enters into the Princess Ballot, and basically what that means is 5 million people enter in to get accepted into this one very prestigious school where all of the royals' children attend and very elite in all of the society. So this is kind of a post-apocalyptic in a way, not really, because there's a bunch of world wars that had happened and society has really broken down where everything has now become monarchies. The United States is a monarchy, everything like that. Cars aren't as accessible as they used to be, only the very rich can attain them, so on and so forth. So a lot of different things that she doesn't have access to, now she sees readily available when she attends the school. This has a school setting. There's also like an underground fighting ring that kind of happens. So I know a lot of people have seen this done a lot and, you know, not really interested in that. So that is in there. I really did enjoy this book and look forward to continuing on. I Am the Wild is a reverse harem vampire romance, and it's something that took me by surprise. This definitely has a, you know, kind of detective lawyer theme because the main character gets a job. They only work at night. She is going to be live-in with the 4, you know, lawyers, the brothers that own this firm, and is honestly, I really did enjoy it. It's something different that I haven't read in this genre before, and I am interested in continuing on with the series, so yeah. Winter's Guardian by G. Bailey is another reverse harem paranormal romance. It is complete, so I ended up picking up the bundle on Kindle Unlimited, and I finished the first one in the month of January. I read the first one several years ago, and now that it's complete, I do want to finish it, and I'm in the middle of the second. So this is about a girl named Winter, and there are, I think, like 4 guys, and they're princes. One's a shifter, one's a vampire, one's a witch, and one is a vampire. Did I say that? Angel. He's an angel. Okay, and so basically there's this prophecy that this one girl is going to be born, and these 4 princes are all going to be born on the same day, and they are all going to be her mate. So, and she's going to save the world or doom the world, and just depending on what choice she makes, so on and so forth. So yeah, it's about a girl who grows up as a human, doesn't know anything about this world that she is living in, and yeah, that's pretty much all I have to tell you that wouldn't spoil it. So the last book I ended up picking up this month was House of Salt and Sorrows by Erin A. Craig. This is a book that I buddy read with Lourdes from Chapters We Love, and thank you so much. I had so much fun buddy reading this month. It definitely held me more accountable, and I'm going to continue on with buddy reading next month. This was a lot of fun. I was so surprised by this book. It was so atmospheric. It is about a girl who lives on this island with her family. Her dad is in trading, and they live in this like old mansion, you know, on this island, kind of secluded, and there's other islands around them, and basically, you know, you start off this book and they're at a funeral. It's definitely dark. It has like this gloomy, cold, you know, you feel like you can taste the salt and feel this like ocean breeze on you. This is a YA book that definitely has some paranormal aspects to it. I really enjoy this one so much. It is a standalone and one that I really did find myself getting sucked into the world and really enjoying it and wanting to find out what was going to happen next. So if you are looking for something that definitely has a mystery, deals with a lot of loss and a lot of pain. Her sisters have been passing away and now you see them during this book and things are, you know, happening and people believe that there's a curse on this family. I personally really love this book. It's very dark and definitely my style. Alrighty guys, thank you so much for watching my January reading wrap up. Again, I read 21 books and honestly, like, I can't believe that I read as much as I did because I was sick twice this month. Like literally there was one whole week where I did absolutely nothing but lie in bed with like a fever. So if you've read any of these books or have any thoughts, opinions about them, I would love to chat about and talk about it in the comments down below. And I hope you have a great day and happy reading. Bye!